amazing series. Welcome to Amazing Series. This is your host, Amma. I'm in the beautiful city of New Orleans, and we're here to capture the richness of the city of New Orleans. I'm joined here by someone who has adopted New Orleans as her home, and her name is Marcia Wall. How are you, Marcia?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Marcia, if you are a tourist and you've gone to your blog and you've read all these things about New Orleans and you decide, I want to visit New Orleans, what can someone do in New Orleans?
Well, most times of the year we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 festivals going on. One weekend we had 6 festivals in one weekend. It was incredible. So there's always some kind of party, and even if it's not a formal festival, we have arts markets, we have neighborhood markets, and there's always live music, there's always food. I'm fond of saying that every festival is music, food, and beer. We may call the festival something different, but it's all music, food, and beer. So there's always some kind of party going on. Downtown in the French Market, the Jazz National Historic Park has free performances maybe 3 or 4 times a week.
Were you here when Katrina happened?
Well, the day before Katrina hit, I was playing Scrabble with friends. It was midnight. We said, see you tomorrow. The next morning, I heard Mayor Nagin say, "Yvette," and so I co-waited. I didn't waste any time. I put me and the cats in the car and I went. So I was not actually here when it hit. Okay. But I was here, and it was devastating.
How has the city changed? Because walking around, I do see the richness and beauty of New Orleans. It's beautiful, but I have to say I also see a lot of devastation, like I've never seen before. They're empty buildings, they're buildings that are falling apart, and it's heartbreaking because you can also see the impact on the lives of people, where people are walking around with a sense of loneliness and emptiness, and it's heaviness, and it's just hollow. You can just feel it. So it's not just some of the buildings that are empty. You can somehow feel the emptiness in people's hearts. How has the city rebuilt itself, physically and emotionally, for the people?
Well, physically, I mean, it takes money to rebuild. And so there have been a ton of volunteers coming into town. I was part of a project. We built a home for somebody in the lower 9th Ward. That was all donated actually by a Kenyan artist. She donated quite a bit of money to have that house built. So, truth be told, many of those buildings were in disrepair before the storm. This is an old city, and not everything works all the time. But I think people stay because there is a sense of life here. On the one hand, you have all that devastation, but people will fight to live here. Food is definitely a reason to come, music and festivities. And like you said, there's art everywhere. Whether you go to a gallery or not, you're going to feel that. And I think that there's just a lot of, each neighborhood is like its own little city. And that's one of the things that makes a city of this size feel so small. And I think if you take the time to explore the neighborhoods, you're really going to find out what New Orleans is about.
You share the sentiment of many, many, many people who are from New Orleans, because people came back. And perhaps if you're not from here and you're not familiar with the culture and the warmth of the people, you will ask, well, why do you want to go back? Why don't you just stay up north? Why do you have to come back to New Orleans? But you do have a sense that the kindness of the people and the sense of community in New Orleans really draws people back here.
And it's home.
It is home.
I mean, so people say, why do you go back? Well, why do you go home? You go home because that's where your heart is. And
did you all leave when Katrina struck?
No, they stayed. They were at local hospitals here.
Yes,
and they stayed.
We stayed and worked for the people of New Orleans. Took care of them.
Now, how does it feel like to come back home after such destruction?
It was so emotional, you can't imagine. And I have to say, after Katrina, when we came back, there was nothing here. And this bar opened up. And it was like our lifeline here. You know, it was like coming back to this bar like we've done for years.
Yeah, Super Bowl champions. How about that?
Okay, I want you guys to teach me, because I love the way you say it, but I can't seem to master it. Is it who that? Who that?
Who dat? Who dat? Who dat say they're going to beat them Saints?
Who that?
Who dat? Who dat?
Instead of that, it's that. Okay, I'm working with many languages and many accents, but I'll try it. Who that?
There you go.
So who that? If I'm in Toronto and I say who that?
Yeah.
Now what's a good drink to have in martini? Martini. What kind of martini?
Jackie's martini.
Jackie's martini. Or
Behind the bar, Jack.
Jackie behind the bar martini.
Or their specialty is sex on the levee.
Oh, now that must be raunchy. Sex on the levee. Not sex on the beach, sex on the levee. So remember, when you're in New Orleans, you're visiting Algiers Point. Come see the dry dock. Come and enjoy the wonderful people. I love them. They make sure you had a good time. And who that? I'm joined by two wonderful men, and they're here to tell us why they love New Orleans. First, introduce yourself.
My name is Andrew Sexton. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm down here visiting New Orleans with my family for the weekend.
And you are?
Kyle Melly from St. Louis, Missouri.
Now, tell me why you love New Orleans.
Music, food, good drinks, good atmosphere.
And you said something off camera.
Pretty ladies.
That's right. How long are you in town for?
We're just in town for the weekend.
Now, I know there's a popular New Orleans saying. Do you know what it is? 1, 2, 3.
We came to New Orleans to check out the Essence Music Festival. We didn't have tickets to the show, but it's still just as fun just to get some drinks and walk Bourbon Street and walk Canal Street and see all the people and the food. We haven't tried yet, but get some food and enjoy the scenery. It's nice, the weather's good, and it's just fun.
It's too much love, passion, just for the city. So it's awesome. You don't find that anywhere else. You'll never find the love for a city in Mobile.
That's right.
It just doesn't happen.
That's right. Really, it was really hard after Katrina to come back and not know what it was going to be like. But I mean, given this city and the history and just the people here, they love their city.
Yeah, it's like a survival.
They would not let New Orleans not come back.
That's right. And I'm just surprised. I am totally surprised just how New Orleans have bounced back in such a short amount of time. And so I'm happy. I'm happy here to be here. I'm happy to celebrate with them tonight. I'm just happy.
Yeah.
So it's
All right, so 1 minute left.